All right, we're live. It's J Mike. Hi, everybody. My wife needs your prayers. God is good. So, as you can see behind us, there's a home hospital setup here. It's a rolling adjustable bed with a little steel bed next to it for us. My wife is in the hospital for a checkup today, a CAT scan. She's already had an MRI. They're finding things wrong with her, guys, that we did not expect. So I got to do a check because I mistakenly made two live streams and I want to see which one we're on. So that's not it. All right. Let's see where we are. There we are. So, just a couple of seconds. Never mind. Never mind. We're there. Okay, we're here. So it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a few weeks because of this situation. Things have changed. Hello, everyone in the stream. We're just getting started doing the sound check and the audio check. The same thing. I mistakenly, like, snap, made two live streams because I thought I was just correcting something and adding something to it, but we started another one. I make that mistake a lot because I don't go live every day as we once did. Just we missed a few weeks because my wife, they're finding out more and more things are wrong. She's going through rehab right now. She's having an she had an MRI. They found some serious stuff, and now today she's having a CAT scan. They're probably going to find more. I don't know what it is, but we need your prayers. She does, and by virtue of the marriage, I do as well. So things have changed a little bit. I'm still happy to be here. I'm with my wife 100%. And we're not asking for money. All we're asking for, anything you do give is much appreciated. It'll go all to the hospitals. Eventually all your money will go to the hospitals and banks, and you can bank on that. So I'm almost at a loss for words. There's been a lot going on. Give me a second. All right. A couple of seconds. All right, I'm going to scroll it up. All right. I lost my place here. And I want to go through all that. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through all that right now. But anyway, thanks for coming in, guys. It's a different live stream. I used to just babble off the top of my head whatever was on my mind. I used to just, blab about it. I was good at that. But I'm humbled now. It's a little bit different. We're asking for help. Not in the sense of money. We don't expect anyone to do that. Although we are here for that. We feed a number of people and we give them little amounts of help as we can. When people think you have more money than them, they think you're rich. But if you spend it, then you don't have it. And that's what hospitals and banks are doing. They're taking all of your money and mine. So we're just asking for prayers, guys. I've done several videos, and I don't have any collaborative help on the channel. There's a lot of people that are the face of their channel. It's their channel, and they have collaborators helping them, even if they're off camera. Somebody's doing something to help them, and those are the successful channels. I'm winging it. None of this is prepared speech. I am quite humble today. Although I never sat here and told anyone that I'm smarter than them or I'm the smartest guy in the room. When you see someone doing that, that's a red flag. That's kind of the dumbest thing you can say, because no matter who you're talking to or hanging around, they can teach you something, however small that is. Oh, there was an autistic child a long time ago, years ago. When he was 7, he couldn't hold a breakfast spoon and feed himself. 7 years old, couldn't really get out of bed and do anything and sit at the table and eat. But when he was 20, he played the grand piano at Carnegie Hall to a standing ovation, obviously. So everyone can do something. All we're asking for is thoughts and prayers. If you can say something in the chat. If you subscribe, you can chat. It's only a 60-second wait, I think. If you post, it's a 4-second wait. So we're not really making you wait very long. And it's free. There's no money that we're asking for. When I look to the side, I'm really just looking at the other monitor, which is the same. It's just bigger. So I'm not like reaching for things to say. It's all up here. I like this. StreamYard has new ownership now, or it's a new umbrella. I'm just looking at the option. There's a few new buttons here. I don't go live as often as before. I'm just seeing what I'm not going to use anything. So let me see. Let's edit mic settings. I don't know if I should do that. How's my mic? I thought it was okay. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's good. That's loud enough. The Century audio isn't very loud anyway, so but I heard that. I don't know if it picked up on the mic. Thank you for all the prayers, guys. Happy it's Wednesday here. It just turned it's Wednesday morning here, late morning Wednesday. We are 13 14, 15, 16 hours ahead of California time or Pacific time. Thanks for looking out for me, Marty. Daniel, good to see you. Daniel's I don't know if you're a big Laker fan or if you're just a front runner. When the Warriors win it, I'm a Warriors fan. When the Lakers win it, I'm a Lakers fan. Here's a quick synopsis of the history of the NBA. In my humble opinion, I think it's true. Way back in the beginning, somewhere around 1949, the NBA became a league, a pro basketball league. And in about 8 to 10 years, the Minneapolis Lakers won a couple of championships. I forgot the number. I don't know if that matters now. But they moved to LA, and they did not find the same success in LA immediately. They did not find immediate success because right at that time, the Boston Celtics were making genius moves to bring in a thing called a team. We'll get to that later about team. A lot of people think teams are a sum of their parts, and that is not exactly true. We learn this year after year, but for younger people, they don't have the history in their head of how things work, really, in the championship perspective. So they think, everything follows the same progressive, curved line, slowly upward. It's Josh Allen's turn to win a Super Bowl. It's Lamar Jackson's turn to win a Super Bowl simply because Patrick Mahomes is out of the way. Well, how's that working out for all of those predictions? Not very good. Teams are not exactly the sum of their parts, and that's what everyone that follows, especially if you play fantasy sports, they're not playing fantasy football. People think, I'm going to look at the box scores. Patriots, they don't look good. They're not going to win. They're going to get trounced. I have 2 words to say to you. Want to bet? Lean Channels here. Hello, J. Mike and Ma'am Norma. Jesus is our great healer. By his stripes, all sickness will be healed. Well, I question a lot of things, and I, amen to that. we know God is the healer, but the there's a penalty for sin called death, and disease brings that in. That's why they're never going to cure cancer. They can help you live longer, but they don't cure it. But we all have to realize we're all marked, we're all appointed to die because of our original sin. We're all sinners. We all still have sinned, even if you have not, then the truth is not in you. So you can't say that. You cannot say that you've never sinned. But you can promise God that you will turn from sin and sin no more, and he will save you. That is true. I don't want to preach religion, but that is true. It's the only truth. It's the first truth, and people don't understand that. I'm talking to AI to figure out how to describe this live stream, and they said for a more broader appeal to reach more people, you want to be less religious. Well, that's the first truth. How can I be less? And everyone tunes out. And that's why YouTube loves the ungodly, because they get more viewers, and that's what YouTube's interested in, is more viewers. They don't care about, if you think you're in the club, you're not. You're not in the club. I always say that because it's really the only thing going on. The only thing going on. And I don't know, when you talk about these things, they cut your reach. They just cut it. I don't know how guys that have these subjects, how they reach their audience, I don't know, unless they're paying for it. YouTube wants to be paid. They want us to pay them to put our titles in front of more eyeballs. That is true. They want us to pay for them to give us more, to reach more people, is basically what it is. So that's it. I am kind of rusty doing live streams. Plus it's a kind of a different subject, so I don't know how long I'm going to do that. But I don't want to read scripture or anything like that. I just want to point everyone to the fact that there is a first truth, and anything after that is based on it. And if it's not, then it's questionably not true. If it doesn't line up with the first truth, it's likely not to be true. That's why when we had big arguments, when we had several people on the panel, and then we would have a fifth person would be, a visitor. Maybe they were here before, maybe they weren't, and they would go against what I was saying, and I would just ask them one question to find out where we stand, and then I know the rest. Anything you say after that, if you tell me it's raining and I see wet ground, I know you're telling the truth, but only for that moment. It's not really, an all-time truth. So, anyway, we're just asking for prayers, guys, because we know prayer works. I know just a couple of years ago, I asked a few years now, I asked my pastor, so we're supposed to pray more? He goes, yeah, you're supposed to pray continuously. That's what we're supposed to do. And it made me think of how I know some Muslims do that in their mosques. They're always on their knees praying. But they're praying to Allah. And I don't know if that's the same God or not. The one thing I know, the Arabic, I'm not too much into this, but there are some similar truths between the Arabics, the Jews, and the Christians. So we know the Arabic, or the Quran points to Abraham as being the father of their religion, and then Isaac. So there are similarities there, but they just don't think Jesus died 2,000 years ago and rose from the dead. So Norma and I have a tough road ahead. We're just asking for prayer, guys. I don't know how this video is going to look if I ever watch it over. But I thought it would be a good day to try something. Norma had gallbladder surgery on November 8th. And then after a few weeks, she was a little behind on schedule, but she stood up and tried to walk a little. So each day she was walking the upstairs hallway. But then she sat down, and after a few weeks, she said, "I have pain." She started crying. So we brought her to a different hospital. They did a full MRI and found more wrong with her. And she had subsequently had immediate spinal surgery. Her entire spine, almost the entire spine, was operated on to remove pain. The pain is virtually all gone. There's obviously muscle pain now from lying down so long. It's hard for her to walk and move, but it's hard to move because of the spinal surgery. That requires a recovery period. So she is taking steps now. I get a video coming out. There's a couple of videos already. And there's a short playlist because I think the third video is going on that playlist soon, maybe today or tomorrow. Whenever I decide to get into my editor, it's all on the editor, it's just ready for the final touches. I'm not sure if I want to edit that down because it's about 39 minutes, and I usually make my videos about in between 10 and 20. I'm not sure, though, if I want to put all that up there. But it's excellent for the big screen. If you have a TV, it's excellent. The camera shots are excellent. But it's about Norma this time. So my theme, although I'm still walking and looking at jeepneys and things like that, I haven't been out to the other side of Manila, and it gets boring to do the same places all the time. Tai, and mostly Tai and Angano. So it's harder. The older we get, the harder it is to get out there and do that. So, and I suspect the channels that are doing well at it are younger than me. The cameraman's younger, and I'm almost certain that they have some collaborators helping them, even if they're off camera and not saying anything. They're doing something to help. So it's difficult to do this. It's not just about, going somewhere and taking video and then you have a channel. It's a lot harder than that. I bring it every day. Good morning. It's morning time here. It's 11 a.m. in the Philippines. The entire Philippines is all in the same time zone. The USA has like 3, 4, 5 time zones. But anyway, thank you for coming in. We're just asking for prayers for Norma. She is back for not an MRI. She already had that. She's back for a CAT scan today. So they're looking for more that may or may not be wrong with her. But as hospitals go, when you do something like that, they more often than not find more wrong with you. So I'm worried about that. And I didn't bring water over here. I don't go live every day as I previously did. So I stop and think more of what I'm going to say. It used to just pop out of my mouth a lot. And when I first started, I was just a guest on several different live streams, and they told me that I was fantastic at it. So I should just go live myself. But it's a different animal when you're just live one person, especially when there's no one in the room working behind the scenes here. It makes it more difficult. Thank you. Anyway, I am so grateful that you came here. Thank you I bring it every day. It's been a little while, but I remember you exactly. Maybe not any intimate details, but I remember the name because it's hard to forget that name. I bring it every day. On a lighter side, the Patriots are bringing it every day. The New England Patriots. The narrative out there, the media narrative is they're going to get blown out in the Super Bowl. Really? Because you're playing fantasy sports? They're not. Bill Belichick years ago, it had to be at least 7, 8, 9 years ago, maybe 10, said, "We're not playing fantasy football out there. It's not. That's not the meaning of it." Well, in the championship game, the NFC had better offensive numbers because I play fantasy football. So the Seahawks are going to blow them out. I don't see that happening. People like write somebody off and then they don't follow it at all. There is something steaming in New England, and it's top to bottom. I remember in '04, someone said, my boss said, I have a former coworker in Philadelphia, and he's a high school football coach. And he says the top 5 Philadelphia Eagles are superior players to the top 5 New England Patriots, so therefore they're going to win the Super Bowl. And we all know how that turned out. And I said, yeah, but player 6 through 53 on New England is better than player 6 through 53 on Philadelphia. So I don't know what there's a thing called fantasy sports, and a lot of people are involved, and they're looking at statistics and they're looking at the draft and how players rise. A lot of players rise and some don't, and they think, well, these teams have those players rising, so therefore they're going to win. It doesn't work that way, you know. So we shall see. Anyway, that's true for all sports, actually. But in hockey, it's the goalie. The goalie makes the difference. Because I always hear these big mouths say, anything can happen in hockey. That's why I like it. No, the hot goalie wins the Stanley Cup. Every goaltender since 1900 or whenever the NHL started, every goalie with 2 world championships is in the Hall of Fame. I find that stunning. That is stunning for hockey. The game they play on the ice with sticks and a puck. What? The hockey puck? So I got to add the humor in there because without it, we don't have too much. So anyway, there's so much that's happened to my wife in a short amount of time. I don't wish that on anybody. I always say to the people that aren't kind to me, I always say, I don't wish that on you. You can't handle it. And if you think you get money for this sort of thing, when these things happen to you, and it's a matter of time, you'll be out of money. The hospitals and banks are set up to take all of everyone's money. And you're not in the club. There's people I know back in Massachusetts, they're fighting and arguing in favor of this, what's going on in the government. And it's absurdly retarded. And they don't know that they're not in the club. They just think they're supporting people that are helping them. That's how ignorant they are. I say things and people think I'm offending them. No, I'm trying to help you with telling you the truth. The Democrats are not your friend. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're black or white or Asian or Hispanic. The Democrats are not your friend. In fact, most of them aren't globalists. They just want to be millionaires, and they're not in the club either. But they don't know it because they don't know much. They know how to get misguided. Yeah, that's a good word. Misguided. You can say, well, I was a Democrat, but I'm not really anymore. I'm not. Well, welcome to the club. When I was 18 and I first voted, I voted for Jimmy Carter, and I just thought Democrats are, the only thing that we should vote for. And that was, to this day, I can't explain why I thought that way. I had high marks in school, and I thought, but I don't know what it was. Ignorance, misguided thoughts. I don't know. But it could happen to all of us because we're not brought up right. The people that are brought up, with money or a money line or whatever it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now you may say, well, I don't like that girl because she looks down on people. We see a lot of videos like that. Well, she has money, so she doesn't like, she doesn't like people that are struggling, and then they show her up, they call her out. But that's fake. No, yeah, those videos are that's acting, but that can be true. Probably is true. Mr. Gates comes to mind, the billionaire. I go on LinkedIn just to see what's going on with people I used to work with and others, people in the business. Sing Venus Unicorn, welcome. Thank you for stopping in. So, and they want me to connect with Bill Gates. He probably has somebody running his LinkedIn account. I hate that. But I do not believe he's a globalist. He's a club member, card-carrying club member of the globalist society. They want fewer people. In the end, they want to have, the insert to AI in their body somewhere so they can live as long as possible, possibly hundreds of years, and they're still doomed. They don't realize that we're all going to die from fire, or the bulls of wrath will kill everybody. And it's likely to be fire. Nothing's going to save you. Your ungodliness is going to do you in. Your dad passed away from Thursday. Now, God says you pray for people when they're still alive. So I am sorry for your loss. I pray that he found God. I can do that, I guess. And that God will already have decided to save him. I pray for that in Jesus' name. So I will do that. I don't know what prayers to say. I pray that the Lord created everything, and that I know that, and that I ask the Lord to help me turn away from sin and save my wife Norma for more time with me on this earth. I don't know what I'm going to do if something should happen to her. She's not been diagnosed that she's going to die. There's nothing like that, but we're not even that far, because we already know that she has a cancerous lesion that they removed from her chest, which came out of her breast. So we do know that. So there's going to be an oncologist. So even when she starts walking again, she's still not out of the woods. Gallbladder surgery, spinal surgery. I don't know how many vertebrae were adjusted or cut into. There's a long line down her back. And she's sitting up, but it's a struggle. She's standing up. That's also a struggle. And walking with a walker, and she's taking very slow steps. So she doesn't have full use of her body or full strength. Lying in bed for 2 months. Almost 3 months now, a little less than 3 months, takes the strength out of your lower body and your upper body too. So, how old was your dad, Sing Venus? How old was your dad, if I might ask? Because I'll be 69 in about a week. Little over next, is it Saturday? I forgot what day of the week my birthday is. On the 6th. Well, it's just over a week. It's Friday. Yeah, that's right, Friday. I don't know Friday from Saturday. When you're retired, every day is a Saturday. So if you have a 5-day work week, that's how you look at it. So I don't know. I'm disappointed. I don't know if it's YouTube or the time that I'm going live. I'm not sure what's doing it, but there's not much reach. And I don't know if they're limiting me Sometimes I buy reach through a third party. You don't buy views, you buy reach, and then they put your thumbnail out there. You might like this live stream, to people that I don't know, or maybe I do know, but I don't know they have notifications set. And if they click, then I get a view. But it's not like fixed views from bots or anything. It's nothing like that. Now, if they don't watch for a longer period of time, that doesn't help me. It's called low engagement. So if you just click on real quick to say, hey, I watched in 10 seconds, that doesn't really help. From lunch of Friday the 16th of January, my dad has been brought to the hospital to check his condition. He passed away Thursday. What was his age? What was your dad's age? Anong taon ka na? Anong taon siya na? Anong taon na siya? I'm still struggling with where to put words in the language. I'm like mixing it up. You're doing the same thing with, what's your language? Is your language Filipino? Love smoking. I like to have a cigar. The cigars, but it's still secondhand smoke. People think, well, it's strong smoke, so it's no good for you. But you don't inhale. If you inhale, that's your last puff. That hurts. So, but there's secondhand smoke all around, getting in your sinuses and in your mouth. That's the least of my worries. I don't worry about death, but I don't want to be alone. I don't want that to happen to her, because she was the rock of the family. She's pulls everyone together, and it's a big family. Everyone is around. They're out now because they're either out in the back or they had things to do, and she's at the hospital getting her CT scan today. She had the MRI already, like that was weeks ago, and then therapy. So she had therapy yesterday, was Tuesday, right? It's Wednesday, right? So Monday and Tuesday she had therapy, and then today is the CAT scan. So we'll find out more later. It's just nonstop. There's more and more that they're finding out. He took a break from smoking, and after that he knocked down. So possibly he stopped smoking because there was something really wrong, and he couldn't smoke any, physically couldn't smoke. Maybe that's, if I'm sick or something, I can't. There's things I can't do either. I have to feel. I mean, I have to be feeling good in my day to light up a cigar. So I guess I'm celebrating that I feel good. I don't know. The right way to drink is, if someone offers you a beer or a glass of wine, you're supposed to say, "What are we celebrating?" Because drinking is made for celebration. And now I just celebrate. Well, I feel good today, so I'm going to celebrate. But Norm is sick, so I can't have any celebration. I find myself celebrating my own good feeling. Your dad's coworker was called the rescue team. Oh. They found him unconscious. So it looks like he told me he passed away on Thursday. I know the word sa means a lot to Filipinos. They use it a lot. So it takes the place of certain words in English, like 5 words in English. So when you're reading in English, or when you're reaching to use English, sometimes the word can throw us off. I like That's why I like using saw, because it says so much and then it's easily interchangeable. So I feel for you, my friend. um, like I said, when I look that way, I'm not searching for invisible words to say. I'm looking at the big screen. Uh, there's no camera. There's no cameraman. That's the camera working by itself. There's no help here. Help! I got no help. I sit to normal. You know what? I can do the editing and the camera work, and the posting and all that. But I need someone to help me with ideas and some things that we will do on camera. You could be a big help, but that never worked out. So, and I suspect she wasn't feeling good enough to, because it's painful. When we did the collab, we weren't really writing what we were talking about. We kind of just got in a groove where it was basically the same every day, and we would ad lib. His heart lost blood, so it wasn't pumping right. Was it heart disease? Because smoking, my older sister's husband, 15 years ago, died from lung cancer. So he was a heavy smoker. Nice guy, but a heavy smoker. And my sister I don't think she thought he would die, but then he just died. So I don't know what she was going through. Heck of a nice guy, though. I will say that. He was always. We didn't see him. I didn't see him every day, but when there was a holiday and I would show up at my sister's house, and then he would be across the room. Hey, Jay, what's going on? Hey, Bob, how are you? Oh, I'm good. And then he would be having a cigarette. So my older brother was like that too. He always had it. He was a smoker, but he always had a drink in his hand. And so then when he died, everyone was finding old pictures. We didn't have pictures back in the old days like they have today. Everyone has a million pictures of their 1-year-old kid. We had one picture of our brothers and sisters each year. So over the years, there's a number of pictures, and I'm like, oh my Lord, it's showing me that he had a drinking issue. So he died from liver disease and cirrhosis. And what else was this? There was like 2 or 3 things related to the liver that he had a problem with. So he passed away, is that right? It looks like that's what you said. How old was he? What was his age, if I might, if you don't mind my asking? Because I'm getting up there in age. I'm not in my 70s yet, but I'm going to be turning 69. The magic number for the younger guys. My favorite number is 69. Yeah, it's not going to be forever, buddy. Your dad's 66. I'm 68, and in less than 2 weeks, a week. Today's Wednesday. A week and 2 days, I'll be 69. So I thank God that I've been able to live a life this long. But Jesus says there's better things awaiting the right people, the people that have lived a righteous life. I am praying for that. And I'll pray that your father was saved. It's too late to save him now, but I can pray that he did live a righteous life, and for what that's worth. You don't have to live your entire life righteous. I remember you don't have to be righteous your entire life. But you have to learn who God is and why things are the way they are. Not just let people say, oh, that's bullshit. It can't be true. He's a vengeful God. And it doesn't work that way. The person that created us and everything else has the power to do what he wants and think the way he wants. When you start to learn who God is, you realize it can be no other way. The biggest reason people will go to hell is because they don't want to give up their sin. Because they can't. They're locked in with it. And sin is not just murder. That's only one commandment. You're speaking less and you're in shock. Yeah, that might take a while, but I pray that you can get over it and understand that he's in the right place. I don't mean that it's right for everyone to die. I don't have to wish everyone to die. They're appointed for it. There's already an appointment. When we're born, we're doomed. But I don't want to say doomed because there is good news that we can be saved through Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the living incarnation of God himself. And he died for our sins, but we have to believe that he rose from the dead to save us and bring us home and prove to us that he's God. That's why he did that. And he died for the sins that we committed. And if we believe in him, follow him, and turn from sin, we can be saved. That's what I mean. Smoking itself, some people say it's a sin because once you become born again, which means you can be saved, your body is a temple and you are going against your body, which belongs to God. I don't know if that's a sin. When you get older, it's harder to break away from what you're doing. What you do. It's what he did. I don't know if they can say that's evil or not, but that's between him and God. We're going to die anyway. So what I'm saying is we're going to die anyway. We just get there a little quicker. My dad had heart disease, but he died from kidney failure because heart disease led to it. So he used to send me emails every once in a while because we didn't live close together. And he would say, and the emails would be copied to the children. So he would send us little jokes. Like, what's the difference between, a smoker and a non-smoker or something like that? And the funny answer would be, well, non-smokers get to live a little bit longer. So you got to make the best of it. Make the best of your life. Get right with God. The American side of my family hates me simply because I left. But I'm getting all these evil shades. It's like, okay, I'll leave you alone to whatever it is you think is right. And my Filipino family, they don't understand that. When I first came here 4 years ago, my niece and nephew's son was still 9. He was going to be turning 10, but a few months later. So he was 9.5. And he had lived a life of cancer from the age of 3 that he was diagnosed with cancer. So 6.5 years later, here I show up. And I was his uncle. But his own father's a good man. But he just seemed like so happy to be around me. We took him to the mall and I let him use the camera when we did some videos. He just thought, and back then everyone was wearing masks. If you go in a hospital, they ask you to wear a mask. So his name is Elon, and he became Elon Musk because of Elon Musk. So we have to ask the Lord every day, please help me to turn from sin, Lord, and live a life that you intended for me. I pray that God will help me live the life that he subscribed me to, if that's how you want to say it. So Norma is still in good spirits. She's off to the CAT scan today, and it's a little bit longer. They'll be home later, maybe in a couple hours. I don't know. It takes so long to get just up the street. I think it's only 4 miles away, but it takes a while. It's a long, because there's only one road that, oh, wait a minute. They're home now. That's the sound of the ambulance. Hold on. They're here?
1140. Gas. 1140.
1140.
11 na lang po. May 50 pa po.
1140. All right. We ran out of cooking gas. It's propane, and we cook outside. There's a stove. It's a double burner. It's connected to. We don't. It's not barbecue grilling, but it's almost like that. So we cook with propane. There's no natural gas here, but it lasts a while. It's a 16-liter bottle. It's bigger than your normal cooking grill fuel container. But it lasts about a month. We have a lot of people here, so it probably only lasted 3 weeks. Because they're cooking morning, noon, and evening here. It's like all the time. There's constant cooking going on. So what can I say? Anyway, I think that's the ambulance. I got to check. Yes, it is, but I'm going to stay live with that, and I've got the GoPro here, which is right here, and this live stream is not sponsored by GoPro, but this is the
Norma's coming.
Yes.
Yes.
I see. So they're coming in. I'm going to turn this on. This is I'm promoting the GoPro. They're not promoting this video. I'm promoting them. So it's the Hero 7. It's an old one, but it still works good. And I'm just going to get a little, because we're doing some videos on the recovery process. Lady Sky, thank you for stopping in. So it's been a good one. I don't know how long we're going to stay here, but we'll stay here for a little bit while they roll in. And I will get a little more video for the next video. Now, the next video that comes out in a day or two will not have this on it. That will be for a future video. Everything's already taken off this phone on the next video. She okay?
I'm okay.
What about Norma?
Hindi na, papasok na. It's okay.
Okay. They'll be in here in a moment, momentarily.
Excuse me. Can I?
All right. You want to lock the wheels now? Okay. All right. They're going to walk in. That's Nick. She's one of.
Yes.
She's a relative and a caretaker.
40 wala.
You need change?
Yeah.
40 pesos.
40, no more 40.
40 pesos.
No. Just let him keep the 40. We're going to tip the propane guy. 40 pesos is not a lot of money, about $1. Less than $1. Sorry we're not in HDR here. The videos are in 4K, but not the live stream. Because I dropped the subscription to StreamYard a while back. When we stopped the collaboration, I also stopped the subscription to StreamYard because I realized I'm running all these subscriptions to do YouTube, and the payback didn't amount to the spend out, so I stopped it. So thank you for coming in, Lady Sky. I don't know if she's still here, but anyway, thank you. Lunch is getting cooked. That was the housekeeper. They're coming in. It's not on.
It's okay.
It's not on, but it's going on in a minute. Are they coming? Yep, I think they're coming. So we're gonna get that. Yep, there they are. You get the bed right here next to me. There's not much space left. Go that way. Oh, she's turning.
Pag ano doon. Pag ano. Hindi, dito ulo, di ba? Hindi, papasok yung... Hindi, siguro ano yun.
Para commercial.
They're speaking Filipino. Ma'am, Tagalog.
Ah,
Marunong
bigyan mo na lang sila.
sa Ma'am Tagalog. There she is.
Ako dyan din.
Tula ko.
There she is right there.
Ako dyan din.
We're all in this together, guys.
Ikaw na dyan. Hindi na ito makakalabas.
Oh, power to Angano ambulance.
Ay, ganda.
That's quick. See that? These guys know what they're doing.
Labas mo muna yan para
Okay na.
makasya tayo.
Siguro.
Anyway, can't see the whole thing. It's hard to turn that.
Okay.
Okay na. Sige, ikaw dito sa akin. Diyan kayo sa kanan. Kaliwa pala.
And that comes right out. Smile is better than a wave. Everything good, honey?
Saan po ba dito? Ay, yung carpet mo.
Atras, wait lang. Atras.
Dress ko.
Agree man lang kasi ko.
That's Mama's sister right there.
Teka. Yung carpet.
I-alsa mo, alsa.
Oh, hold it back.
I-gata mo naman.
Back.
Ano?
Okay, lift a little. Lift here. Just a little.
Yan.
In between the red.
Yung carpet.
Dali lang.
Happy kayo.
Salamat Thank you.
I think someone else is still on.
Thank you.
All right, she's in place.
Sa uulitin, sana sa tres kayo.
Thank you, guys.
Oo, please.
And there's the live stream.
Ano ba kayo? Atras.
All right.
Kayo, ano? Anong oras? February.
Oh, no.
Anong oras ba yun?
February to?
Hindi ko alam.
Basta February to.
Lunes yan.
Ay, ito, 3.
Lunes yan, February
The
to.
GoPro is tricky. Took me a while to figure out how everything works on
Hindi mo
that. So,
number na, Nick. Nick,
anyway, she's
hindi
back.
mo number.
Oh, we can't see her. Say thank you, everybody, for the prayers. There she is. She's not sitting up on it. She's lying flat. So we had some people come in and say a couple of prayers.
The next episode is still
Because nani mo number nila.
So she's back. She's okay. She just had a scan done. So they're going to find out more damage. So thank you for coming in, everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to stop it just under an hour. Thank you for the prayers, and God bless you. And prayers to you guys also. May God be with you and keep you well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ang sino, labog,